Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the PACE University Electronic Medical Records and Medical Billing and Coding Certificate Program Information Session Webinar. Always a mouthful. My name is Stephanie Plowman. I am the Program Coordinator for the EMR MBC Certificate Program at PACE University. With me this evening for the webinar is Dr. Michelle Kalm, one of our instructors, and Nicole Vitale, Program Manager at PACE. Now, I am shortly going to toss things over to Michelle, who is going to talk to you about the profession in general, as well as the specifics of the PACE program. And then we are going to take it back, talk about registration, financing, and then open things up to all of your questions. Now, one housekeeping matter before we get started this evening. This system is very, very sensitive. And because of that, everyone's audio is off except for ours on this end. So despite your audio being off, we do welcome all of your questions and are ready, willing, and able to answer them. So when you have a question, please do type it into the question box that you will see on your GoToWebinar toolbar, and that question will then pop up on our screens, and we will be able to take a look at it and answer that question for you. Now, we will be opening up to questions towards the end of the webinar this evening, but certainly if something comes up before the end, please do feel free to type in that question. All right, with all of that being said, I am going to give presenting duties to Dr. Michelle Kalm, who is going to click you through the slides now. So, Michelle, is it, I have switched things over. Is it, let's see what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Okay.
All right. Well, hello, everyone, or I should say good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us this evening to learn about these two programs at PACE University, the Electronic Medical Records Program and the Medical Billing and Coding Certificate Program. Let's take a quick look at the topics that we will be covering this evening. We will take a look at the employment outlook for medical billing and coding specialists and the average salary statistics. Healthcare as a career sector continues to show growth, and you're going to see this trend throughout the presentation. So we will take a look at some exciting articles that have been recently found in the news about this. We will also take a look at the online classroom so you can see exactly what it looks like and the features that are contained within the program. These features include a wide array of study tools so that you can get the most out of the program. The ultimate goal is to prepare you to sit for a certification examination, and our study tools are designed to help you maximize your time as well as your study efforts so that you can be prepared for the certification. We will also share with you some information on how to register for the program and for finding some financing options. According to the Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment opportunities are on the rise for health information specialists. Over the next 8 to 10 years or so, the field is expected to grow by 22%. New jobs are literally being created all the time. There is an increased use and actually a government mandate to use electronic medical records. The need for billing and coding specialists is on the rise as well. There is continuous growth in the elderly population and more medical treatments and diagnostic procedures being performed. The National Health Career Association outlines the benefits of becoming certified in electronic medical records. Being certified provides more job opportunities and an increased pay scale, as well as subject matter expertise. Salaries are increasing across the board in healthcare. There are two main professional associations that certify medical specialists. One of them is the American Academy of Professional Coders, or AAPC. They conduct an annual survey, and the survey results from the 2015 survey shows that it is a very good time to be working on the business side of healthcare. Salary surveys show earning potentials are on the rise, and that the unemployment rate among certified coders continues to go down. This rate is currently at 1.4%. According to AATC's recent survey, the average salary of an AATC member last year was almost $51,000. This is an 8.4% increase in just 1 year. Those who work in a hospital inpatient setting experienced a 16.6% increase in salary, and they were averaging over $56,000 per year. Most members of AATC are working full-time as well, and about 87% of the respondents of the survey are working 40 hours per week or more. The growth of healthcare jobs can also be found in the news as well. A recent article from USA Today tells us to expect healthcare job gains to continue until at least 2022. It states that millions of healthcare jobs will be created between now and then. Baby boomers will be retiring, and that provides more job opportunities for those that are still in the workforce. According to The Economist, healthcare jobs are recession-proof. On this graph, the light blue vertical lines show positive growth from year to year for healthcare jobs, while other industries, which you can see in the dark blue lines, fluctuate from year to year, showing periodic loss in job numbers. Boston University states that regardless of economic trends, healthcare is one of this country's strongest growth industries. This growth is a result of needing more healthcare for the growing number of elderly, as well as our country's new focus on healthcare reform. Since you are here, you are obviously thinking about making a significant career change. You might be looking to start with a new profession altogether, or maybe you are already in the field, but you are looking to change your focus. So let's take a look at what two professionals have to say about these emerging career fields. And I will give you guys a few minutes to go ahead and read both of these. All right, now we're going to switch topics here for just a moment, and we're now going to take a look at what the online classroom looks like. You may or may not have experience taking classes online, but either way, you will find the online classroom easy to navigate. We are going to take a walkthrough so that you can see the features of the online class and the tools that are available to you to help you learn. When it's time for the program to begin, you will receive an email that provides you with the website to go to, as well as your login information. It also provides you with contact information for the university, as well as your instructor. Once you receive this email, you will be able to log into your classroom, take a look around, and then get started. Once you log in, you will be on the home page of your classroom. In the center, you will see a description of your program, and this one here is the Medical Billing and Coding Certificate Program, standard block with the CPC focus. And then on the left side, you will have buttons that will help you to navigate throughout your program. When you click on the Modules button, you will see the majority of the information you will need for your program in the center of your screen. When you click on the very first item in your program, you will be taken to your first presentation. Throughout your program, you will have video presentations with audio, and this is your first one. It gives you an overview of the program as well as what to expect. Most online programs have lecture notes for you to read, but we do offer this dynamic tool that makes learning interesting and fun. After the overview presentation, you will find your syllabus, which will provide you with all the school and classroom policies that you may need to reference. Here are some clips of some of the items you will find in your syllabus: a textbook list, the grading policy, and the honor code. There is also a week-by-week list of everything that is covered, as well as assignments and tests that need to be completed. In this example, we can see week 1. All participants are expected to create a portfolio of their accomplishments during their program. Since this program is online, we call it an e-portfolio. This is an opportunity to collect some of your best work and show it to potential or current employers to showcase what you have accomplished in your program. It is something to be extremely proud of. There is a video presentation that walks you through the steps of creating an e-portfolio, as well as how to share it. This is also a graded item within the program. So once you have watched the overview presentation, reviewed the syllabus and the textbook list, and watched the video on how to set up the e-portfolio, you can then read a biography about your instructor. This will provide you with their contact information, their work experience, their teaching experience, as well as something interesting and special about them. Next, it's time to jump into your first module. And for this particular program that we have on the slide, this is medical terminology. The first item that you will see is an introduction to the module that provides information on what will be covered. Every module will have an introduction. Next, you will have a document that explains in detail how to access student resources for the textbook that is used in that module. This study material supplements your program and can be a very valuable tool. These instructions are here to help you download or access any of these supplemental materials. Next, you will find websites that you can review to help you in exploring the module topic or topics. This material is considered bonus study support, and it's here for your benefit. It makes your learning dynamic and allows you to use powerful websites to enhance your learning. As previously mentioned, as opposed to lecture notes, you will have video presentations. You can stop and start the videos and watch them as often as you like. This is where you'll want to take notes and listen to what the lecturer has to offer. You will find these presentations throughout your program. They cover every area of the program and add a creative and exciting feature that will aid you in learning the material from some industry specialists. On this slide, we have an actual clip of one of the presentations. I'm not quite sure that you'll be able to hear the sound. I have my speakers turned all the way up, but you may not be able to hear the sound, but you'll be able to get an idea of the presentation.
Welcome to Diagnostic Coding, Section 2. In ICD-10 world, Z-codes are informative. Z-codes are used to report circumstances other than disease or injury. Depending on the circumstances, Z-codes can be first or additionally listed codes. Status code is assigned to indicate that a patient has a sequelae or residual of a past disease or condition, or is a current carrier of a disease. The external cause index is located after ICD-10
So that just gives you a little bit of a snippet. And again, I'm not quite sure you were able to hear that or not, but all of our presentations have a bit of motion to them, but they cover every single aspect of the module topic. So you will have different presentations for each module. Next, you will find a variety of learning tools in the program. This, on this page, is an example of one of those study tools. These are interactive tools specific to technology security in this particular slide. Learning these concepts requires some memorization. So tools like this are excellent to help you with those tasks as far as memorizing and retaining the information, and these are provided throughout your program. So we have a couple examples to look at. This next one is an example of a knowledge check, and it is interactive. These particular knowledge checks provide you with some directions. These are not worth any points or these are not graded, but these allow you to go through and test yourself, see where you are. So you're presented with a question, click to reveal the answer, and then on your honor code, whether or not you provided the statement correctly. And this is to gauge your learning and where you need to focus your studies. The next one is an example of key terms, and it's a little bit of a twist on the traditional flashcard. With our interactive tools, you can go through these as many times as you'd like. And we offer these tools for every section within every module. The program also does have graded deliverables, and again, the interactive study tools are not part of that. But these graded deliverables take the form of homework assignments and tests. This is an example of a homework assignment. You submit your assignments right in the instruction area. Your instructor will receive the assignment. They will grade the assignment and return it to you with feedback. Prior to taking your test, there are practice quizzes within each section, within each module as well. These are not graded, and you can take them as many times as you want. This is how a completed practice quiz looks. You're given an immediate score, and you will see exactly which questions you answered correctly or incorrectly, which will allow you to know exactly which areas to focus additional studies. When you are ready, you will be able to take your test. They are all auto-graded, multiple choice, and true-false, and you will know exactly how you did as soon as you complete the test. Should you need some assistance while navigating the program, there are quick links for technical help and the frequently asked questions, FAQ, which can be very helpful as well. And as always, you can ask your instructor for assistance as well. A common question that is often asked is, what topics do these programs cover? For electronic medical records, your modules will consist of United States Healthcare System, American Reinvestment and Recovery Act and HITECH Act, medical terminology, healthcare computing, health information management technology, and electronic medical records software. For medical billing and coding, every participant completes what we call the standard block of modules. The standard block of modules includes medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, disease pathology, diagnostic coding, and then procedural coding. Then depending on the type of certification you want to prepare for, you would then move in to take your add-on module. Your choices of add-on modules include CPC, COC, and CPCP certification preparation through AAPC, and CCA and CCS certifications through AHEMA. Each certification differs in the workplace setting it prepares you for, and the different certifying agencies differ in their requirements. Here you will see the websites you can use for the different certifications available to see which certification is right for you. So I'm going to give you just a brief moment to write this down. And as a side note, as you're writing this down, both AAPC and AHEMA do a wonderful job on their websites really going into what the differences are between all of their different certifications that they offer. All right. Your program also includes additional resources to help you with resume and cover letter writing. Many of our participants find these tools to be extremely useful, and they are provided standard with everyone's program. We absolutely encourage everyone to explore and utilize these tools. At the end of your program, you will compile some signature assignments into your e-portfolio that we spoke about earlier. When it is complete, you will submit a private URL to your instructor so that they can review it and provide you with some feedback. You can also provide this URL to a potential or current employer so that they can see your accomplishments as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the presentation over to Nicole, and she's going to speak a little bit more about PACE University.
Hi, everyone. So I hope that answered all your questions about our program and the online course. So now I wanted to talk to you about our financing options. So you might now be asking, what is your investment in this particular program? So you should first off know that for attending this webinar, you're eligible for a $200 discount. So there's nothing further that you need to do. If you decide to register, we'll automatically apply that $200 towards your tuition. So what does that come out for you? So the medical billing and coding, it is $3,995. That includes all materials. With the $200 discount, that comes down to $3,795. And the payment plan, which is the plan that most students are interested in, it's a monthly payment plan that breaks up the cost into 7 monthly installments. And with the $200 discount, that would be $542.14. That would be due every single month on the first of the month. So this is an interest-free, and we do not have any, we don't do any credit checks. So a lot of students sign up for this. It's the one that is the plan that most students are interested in. Now, there are some other financing options as well. Thank you. That would be a private loan. There are some educational servicers that provide private loans for non-credit programs. And if you're interested in doing that, I do have a list of those companies, and I can send those over to you. And then your second option is to speak with your employer. So for some of you who are currently employed and doing this for career advancements, you may have tuition reimbursement options with your employer. So you'll definitely want to talk to your manager about that and see what options there are. And so that ends the webinar portion of our online program, but I also want to tell you about some of our new in-person options. So we are starting a in-person medical billing and coding program this semester. The start date is still being finalized, but we'll probably be starting that beginning of November. We'll be having 2 locations, one at our Pleasantville campus and also at our downtown campus. The length of the program will be 26 weeks, and we'll also be holding information sessions at both the Pleasantville and downtown campus. If you're interested in this, please email me at nvitali@pace.edu so you can get on our list. And so that concludes the presentation portion of the webinar, and we'd like to open it up to questions.
Yes, so once again, for anyone who joined us after I did my introductory spiel, once again, this is Stephanie Plowman, Program Coordinator. Everyone's audio is turned off, so if you have questions, please do feel free to fire away by typing them into the questions box on your GoToWebinar toolbar, and I will read them aloud as they come in, and either Michelle or Nicole will field them, and everyone can benefit from their answers. So we'll give you an opportunity to start typing away and look forward to your questions. Okay, here they are coming in. What is the average class size for both the in-person and online sessions? I don't know, Nicole, maybe you want to handle that one?
Yep. So for the in-person, we're currently taking registration, so we haven't finalized our class yet, but we'll probably have about 12 students in each section at our Pleasantville and downtown campus. The online program is asynchronous. So what that means is you progress through the online program independently. So there's really no class size. It's really just you and the instructor. And if that's not clear, I can try to explain that a little bit more, but I hope that it is.
Okay, we'll see as more questions are coming in, so we'll see if we get any follow-up on things. I saw workforce availability for tuition on your site as well. Is that an option, Nicole?
Yes, that is an option, and we'll need to speak with you further to give you details on that. For the person who is looking into that, you'll want to contact me one-on-one because there's some questions we need to ask you specifically about that.
Okay, Michelle, what kind of things do you put in your e-portfolio?
Oh, that's a great question. There are the signature assignments. That's what your grade is going to rely on, for lack of a better word. So you'll want to include your signature assignments, but then you get to get creative. And the creative side, you could put whatever you want in there. I have some students in the past that have put pretty much every assignment in to showcase. I have some that have definitely put in their resume, their cover letter. I've had some create presentations, PowerPoint presentations, just about themselves, letting their employers or future employers know a little bit more about them on a personal level. So you could put something like that in there. You could create a video introducing yourself, and you could put that in there as well. So the e-portfolio is basically taking your standard resume, standard cover letter, and making it kind of like its own web page, if you will. So as long as your signature assignments are in there, the sky's the limit of what else you would like to put in there.
For the online course, can it be taken in less than the time allotted?
Yes, it can. However, I would suggest taking your time. And that is kind of probably not the best answer, but the reason I suggest taking your time is it depends on your experience. So let's say you chose medical billing and coding, the program, and let's say it's CTC that you chose. I'm just kind of pulling those out. If you don't have any experience in a health or human-related science or coding, then I would say slow down, take your time, and use that allotted time because it's a lot of information. It's the medical field has its own language, literally, its own terminology, so I would say slow down, take your time. However, on the flip side, if somebody else made those same choices but they have been working in a medical or allied health-related field, then they may not need to take the full time. So I would definitely, it's not the most clear-cut answer, but I would definitely say that it depends on one's experience, skills, and expertise.
Okay. Also for the online sessions, how much interaction will students have with instructors, and how accessible will instructors be to answer questions, etc.?
The instructor is there all the time. I have my email open all day. I also have it on with me to go. I have it on my mobile device. So the instructor is definitely there and is able to be there with you whenever you need them. As far as sorry, I got a message that I was experiencing some difficulties on my side, so I just want to make sure you guys can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping that you didn't lose me. And while I was experiencing the technical difficulties, I completely blanked out on the first part of that question. So if you could just repeat the question.
Oh, yes, absolutely. How accessible will the instructor be to answer questions, etc.?
Okay. And so I just want to make sure I address the whole question. We are here. Your instructor logs in several times a week. They are working professionals, so it may not be a login every day. I personally log in 5 times a week. And like I said, these days I think many of us have email to go, how I explain it to my daughter, but we're very accessible.
Okay, all right, let's see. Thank you. Okay, what is the average CPC pass rate for the program?
I could take this one. So the medical billing and coding program is fairly new. We've just been running it for just about a year here at PACE. And so we have not yet had any students graduate from the program yet and taken that particular exam. We're just coming up to the time where we're going to be having a group of students graduating in November and December. So they'll probably be getting up to the point where they'll take an exam. And I would say in the new year, we'll have some of those pass rates. But currently, right now, just because of the timing, we don't yet.
Okay, choosing the add-on module, how does that work exactly?
I'll take this one.
Thank you.
Those websites that we had up on the presentation, those are the websites you're going to want to do a little bit of research. aapc.com for AAPC, and then ahima.org. And you will be able to compare and contrast the different certifications that are associated with the add-on modules. You'll want to look at which one fits best for you. As far as electronic medical records, it's a little bit longer of a URL, but we can always send that out if you would like to look at that as well. But I always suggest sitting down and kind of making a list of what you're looking for, what you're hoping to accomplish with either program, and then you'll be able to figure out which certification is right for you.
The AAPC offers an online CPC program as well. What sets PACE University's online program apart from AAPC or other online CPC programs?
That is an excellent question. And actually, I was just telling Nicole and Stephanie just a little bit ago that as of today, I am a certified professional coder instructor, which is a CPCI, and is someone who is able to teach the CPC curriculum. So I'm really excited about that. I've been working really hard towards that. But basically, I'm very, very, I have an intimate knowledge of the CPC curriculum that is offered through AAPC because of this unique certification that I have. One thing that definitely sets us apart from AAPC's online program is pathology. Pathology, pathology, pathology. The reason I say that, and I say that 3 times, is that not only do coders need to have an understanding of medical terminology, but they need to understand anatomy, which is the structure of the human body, physiology, which is the function of the human body, and then what happens when either the structure or function are interrupted, and that is pathology. Pathology is the study of disease. In order for a coder to be able to connect the dots of the diagnosis code, which would be an ICD code, and then let's say a procedure code, which would be a CPT code, to be able to connect why those 2 codes go together, why that procedure goes with that particular diagnosis, and why that diagnosis provides medical necessity for that procedure, that's where pathology comes into play. So one of the most important topics that a coder really needs to have underneath their belt is pathology. That is what's going to connect your medical term, your A&P, with coding. And that is something that we include in our program in detail versus the AAPC online program. As far as the other, comparing and contrasting the 2, both programs are going to offer ICD coding, basic text coding, which is going to be your procedural and diagnostic coding, medical terminology. We view medical terminology as if you've never had it. AAPC is more of a medical terminology review. And our anatomy and physiology section is if you've never had A&P before. AAPC, their view of anatomy and physiology is more of a refresher as well. So it's going to come down to kind of what you're walking into it with as far as your experience and your education with those health and human-related sciences.
Okay. Regarding choosing a specialist between AAPC or AHEMA, would it be possible to take all the examinations if the student chose to?
That would be a lot of examinations. Some of the examinations you might, as you do the research, you might see are kind of build on the previous examination. For example, the CCA would, or I should say the CCS through AHEMA would build on a CCA certification. So you'll want to look at, if you wanted to get all those certifications, you'd want to look at what order, and you'd want to look at how to go about taking additional add-ons, which I will hand off to Nicole.
So we, I guess it would be possible. We don't actually have any sort of structure for students to take additional modules. So we need to look into that. I don't see that it would be a problem. It would just be figuring out how to get you set up on our side in our systems. But I can look into that and see if it's possible. Really, I'm just thinking about setting up in the system and making sure you're getting the right certificate and all that kind of stuff. So whoever it is asking that question, my contact information is on the page, so please follow up with me and I'll try to find that out for you.
Okay, thank you. All right, more coming in. The AAPC program fee includes the cost of the CPC course, all required books, CPC online practice exams, the CPC exam review, and the CPC exam. What does the tuition at PACE include?
So the tuition includes the online platform, the online course that you sign into all of your textbooks, but it does not include the examination. That would be something you would have to set up separately.
Can course slides be printed out?
Oh, that is a great question. All of our presentations are more in the video interactive format. Some of them are actually in a software called Storyline, to where it's not just like a PowerPoint presentation to where they can be printed off. However, if there are students that what's the word I'm looking for? If there are students that require for learning that they have to have printed versions, and the word is escaping me, we can definitely supply those to make sure that we accommodation. If a student has an accommodation, then we definitely can create those for students that do require those specific accommodations.
Okay. So many questions are coming in. I'm losing my place in our questions box here. Okay, how many instructors does the program have, and are they currently working in the field?
So we currently have 3 instructors. I believe Susan is currently working in the field, and Jatanga, I believe, works in the field. And Michelle, since you're here, do you want to share your experience?
Absolutely. I have been working in the field for quite some time, just from a different side of it. I've been on the physician side of it, where I did my own billing and coding, which was not an easy task to do in the beginning, but when you are just starting out, sometimes that's what needs to be done. So I have kind of had my own unique, what's the word I'm looking for? I've basically worn several different hats within the field, if you will. I am currently still in the field, and I also currently still teach in the field, as you can see, as well. For the certification that I just completed, you have to have a certain number of years in the field to even be able to sit for that exam. So Susan is a doctor of physical therapy, as well as has coding experience and coding background as well. Jatanga has been in the field for a really long time on both the professional coding side of it as well as the teaching side of it. So between the 3 of us, there is definitely quite a bit of coding experience plus other hats within the medical field as well.
And I also am happy to report that as we are adding our ground program to the repertoire, we are going to be bringing in a ground instructor who has experience in the field as well. So you definitely are in good hands when it comes to your instructors. Okay, let's see, a couple things just for me. What are the most popular coding certifications?
I would have to say CPC, and I'd have to say CPC. Hands down is probably the most popular. It seems to be a stepping stone for many coding professionals for them to gain other certifications on top. For AHEMA, many coders and individuals will start out with the CCA and then progress to the CCF. But I find that a lot of, especially new coders, go with CPC first and then add on from there.
Is the price of the in-person course option the same as the online option?
So it is not. The in-person will be a couple $100 less. It's $3,495.
Does PACE administer the certification exams?
We don't. So you would have to go to a testing site to take the examination, and they have them all over the country. So you'll have to go to the board that you're taking that particular exam, do a search for a testing site close to you.
And I will just add in on here real quick, both AAPC and AHEMA, they have all that information on their website. Examinations through really any certifying body, anywhere within the medical field, they're very strict as far as the testing sites, what you can even bring in, and anything along those lines. So there are approved testing sites, and there, like I said, there are definite rules and restrictions. So you'll want to make sure that you look at those on the website. I know when I first took my CPT exam, I couldn't even bring my phone into the room, let alone put it up in front by the proctors. They weren't even allowed in the room. And that I've heard of some other certifying agencies that you couldn't even have a phone in case with the Apple Watch now. So, or I'm sorry, a watch in because of all the new technology with watches. So you'll find all the information that you need as far as testing sites near you. As Nicole said, they are all over the country.
Okay, the in-person option is still, of course, being finalized as we work towards the start dates in November, but do you have an idea of how many days per week the sessions would meet and what would be the session duration? And yes, we do.
And they're talking about the in-person, right?
The in-person, yes.
Yeah, so for the in-person located at Pleasantville, that will probably run on Saturdays, so that'll be 1 day a week, about a 9 to 3 or 9 to 4 session every single Saturday. And then the downtown campus will be an evening session 2 nights a week, probably either a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, from something like 6 to 9. Was there a second part to that question?
The session duration, which you got to.
Which I think
yes,
the length of time,
yes,
Saturday. Okay.
Yes, when you discuss the times. You got it all. What kind of examination preparation do you offer, and is there an additional fee for exam prep?
That's a great question. That's in your add-on module. So each add-on module is going to be geared towards that certification. So for medical billing and coding, for example, everybody takes the standard block. So MedTerm, A&P, disease pathology, diagnostic coding, procedural coding. And then that's where everyone kind of moves off to their add-on modules. So if you're doing the CCA exam, you're going to go to a CCA-specific add-on module that includes practice exams and any additional information that that particular exam requires. Same with CCS, same with CBC, all of them. So all of the certifications, or some of the certifications kind of have different requirements, and so each of those add-on modules are going to cater to those requirements. And all of them include practice exams as well as a mock examination. So that's also included in there as well.
Is there a certain amount of time after you complete the course that you have to take the certificate exam?
No, but I wouldn't wait too long. I would do it while the information is fresh, and you. That's what I would suggest. I wouldn't wait too incredibly long.
Okay, hang on a second. I think that's it. It is. Okay. Well, of course, we'll give you another moment or two to type in any follow-up questions that you may have before we log off this evening. As is usually the case, the best or most important question to you is the one you remember to ask once we have ended the session, but never fear, we are always available for you. If you have any follow-up questions, please do feel free to reach out to Nicole. Her email is right here, and she'll be more than happy to assist you. Any parting words, ladies, as we wait for final thoughts and questions to come in and before we log off for the evening?
I always say this. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I hope this was informative, answered a lot of your questions, and I hope we get to see you in class.
And I always say this at the end of these types of sessions. I definitely encourage you, after we're done tonight, to just go on to those websites. There's 3 different websites depending on which program piques your interest, and do a little bit of research so that you can see what each of those certifying bodies and those certifications within those certifying bodies have to offer.
Also, this is a good one. Can you work from home as a medical coder?
That is a great question. You can, however, you may not be able to do it right off the bat. So as with many different careers, you sometimes have to go in and get your feet wet. And then, but there are definitely a lot of opportunities out there for coders to work from home.
Okay, I think that might be it for us tonight. Again, any follow-up questions that you may have after we log off this evening, please do feel free to reach out to Nicole. Certainly she would be more than happy to assist you with your queries. And I guess we will call it a night then. So Nicole and Michelle, thank you so much for all of your assistance and your good information this evening. And thank all of you for your interest, for your time, and we certainly hope to see your names on rosters and your faces either in in-person classrooms or at least your names on our platforms online. So thank you all again for your time and attention, and have a wonderful evening. All right, good night.